See if I got you muted.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
What did you do? Just say use computer audio or you got a mic?
Yeah, I said use computer audio.
Okay, takes it in. How's it going past Texas?
It is going.
Are y'all pretty much corona'd up down there?
Yeah.
It's pretty, the town pretty bad?
It's, I don't know. One of my friends, I know he works on like the front lines.
Right.
He definitely has a relative that has coronavirus. So.
Okay, yeah. So I saw the best video the other day. It was a doctor explaining, what it did. And he was like he drew it. And he was a really good artist. So he drew these little symbols and all this stuff and talked about the lungs and how it keeps the lungs gets basically inflamed.
Yeah.
And then the blood won't go. It doesn't let the oxygen get to the blood. It's basically what happens. And so that's why the ventilator is so important, because the ventilator, they can put it on and it'll keep the oxygen going, for the person. So anyway, that's what it did. Any tuba mouthpiece playing going on this week?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, usually whenever I'm like doing something else, I'll usually just like just do like wrong stuff.
Yeah, one of the things you can do, and teachers don't usually talk about this stuff, but I'm me, man. So it's I'm kind of Mr. Come from the other end of things. It's like when you're sitting around, let's just make your embouchure, and not even buzz, but just go, just make that face like this, and strengthen these muscles. So it's basically like you're doing your muscle exercises. And the way I learned to do this was by playing soprano saxophone, of all things, because when you put a soprano saxophone in your mouth, and I play trumpet too. So when I would play trumpet, my trumpet chops would be up, and I'm going like, because you trumpet, you really have to keep your chops up to play. I mean, you can lay a tuba down for 6 months and pick it up and play it for half an hour.
Yeah.
The trumpet you can lay down for 6 months and you can play it for 2 minutes, and you're shot. I mean, because you got these fast twitch muscles going on. So what I found out with soprano sax was the embouchure was exactly the same, because when I put the mouthpiece in my mouth, my teeth were open the same width, and my corners are in the exact same thing. So one of the things you can do is practice just facial muscles. If you don't have a tuba with you, you can play your mouthpiece, but if you don't have it, if you're going on a walk, you can say, I'm going to see how long I can hold this like this. And that's just something you can do over the summer. And so anyway, you got enough money to come back to school?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. That's good.
Yeah, I'll be back.
Yeah, man. You're gonna be playing a solo like in October, man.
Yeah.
You're gonna be on the first, whatever the first recital is. I don't know how many people will be there. It may be on TV. I don't know, man, but you're going to be the first recital. Okay. Let me hit it.
I'm hoping that the schools open up by then, because they're saying maybe, I said, I hope the schools open up by then, because they're saying they may quarantine again in the fall. Yeah,
they might go. It's funny. I was talking to another friend of mine. This is a Latter-day Saints Mormon thing, but they were talking to someone about, my sister is the dean of education at Elon University in Rome. So she's got student teachers all over the world, like in New Zealand. So she had to get them back. And she said that she was talking to somebody, and all the people, there was a complete airplane coming from South America, and they were all Mormon missionaries, the entire plane, except for the pilot.
Yeah.
So she was saying like that was somehow the church had gotten together and said like, can we get all these people that way? Whatever, they had to go home. But anyway, I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
So
no, that's awesome.
So you said they may not have school in the fall. You've heard that?
No, I heard that there might be quarantine in the fall. I don't know about school. I have no clue.
That means you could live on campus, or you don't even know.
I have no idea.
Nobody knows what that means. Yeah.
Yeah.
Until they get a vaccine, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea, man. So.
Yeah, it sucks too, because I'm already having, like, I'm planning to live off campus, and I have this guy ask me, like, hey, are you going to do this in August or not? I'm still like, I don't know yet. Like, I gotta, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a weird situation.
Maybe I could teach you at your house with a mask on.
Yeah.
I thought about something the other day. I'm sorry to change subjects, but you got to talk about this stuff, because I need to kind of know where you are and whatever. I thought this thing the other day, what you could do, because the governor of Virginia got on yesterday. He does an hour spiel, right? Like all the governors do. Got your doctors there and all that kind of thing. And he said, what's the most calls he gets about? Who calls him more than anybody? People that need a what?
Um, I guess a test.
Haircut.
Oh, really?
Yeah, look at this. I mean, it's like he said that he said, I've gotten more calls about letting the barbers go back to work than any other call he's got. Because that's the one thing people is obvious. It's like, going, God, I got to get a haircut. You know,
I was literally I was talking to someone the other day. I was like, the first thing that people are gonna do whenever this is all over, it's not gonna go to the mall. It's not gonna, like go eat out. It's gonna go to the barber. People are gonna get haircuts.
And I think they're going to open up Virginia, but I thought about this before yesterday, and I think they're going to open the barbers, and they say, like, it's going to be like you can only let this many people in, and you got to wear a mask, you got to wear gloves. Both of you have to wear a mask. Both of you have whatever. But I was thinking, like, what would be cool would be if you had like a glass wall, like a plexiglass wall, and in the plexiglass wall, it looked like a NASA space suit, like and you would have these plastic things around your arms and gloves on, and you could just sit the hair cutter could go outside, set the little building up.
Oh, yeah.
Put the person in a chair and reach through like you're an astronaut and just cut your hair.
Yeah.
It'd be, they usually just need a pair of scissors and a buzzer or whatever, but, but I think it'd be better outside because that way you're not dealing with the internal sneezing droplets, whatever you got going on. Like, I think, what a great invention.
Yeah.
And it would be a thick plastic, but it'd be cool, but it'd need a hole in it so the person cutting the hair could, like, had this much space where there was this plastic thing and they put their hands in it and they could basically reach around you like that.
Yeah.
But that's what they can't do is they can't use an extension to whatever. So that way you'd be divided. You'd be separated from the person. And anyway, and then you could have a credit card machine on it and everything.
That'd be sick.
Put your money in the credit card. Yeah. So anyway, all right, cool. All right, so pull up your mouthpiece. Can you play an E flat?
An E flat off the top of my head?
Do you know an E flat? Can you hear it?
No, I don't. I can't do that.
Let's do this. This is a good exercise. What's the lowest note you can sing?
Oh, I can sing?
Yeah, sing a low note.
I don't know.
Okay, go ahead. Got that one? Sing it again. That's an A flat. Okay. All right. So play an A flat on your mouthpiece. Da. Okay. Sing it again. That's about as low as you can go. Right. That's the note that comes out. So an E flat would be a fifth above that. So play an E flat. Okay. Let me play my E flat. That's a good little exercise to do because that way you can kind of practice yourself. Okay. Cool. So you can get relatively close. And that's important when you're sitting there in a gig. And I played some piccolo trumpet before on things. And you're going like, because, you're in a different key. You got like, so I literally sit there with like a pitchfork going. Because you got to go, bah! I mean, you got to wipe that note like, at a wedding.
Yeah.
You don't want to screw it up. But, so you're not using that. But one of the things you can do with that is like, practice like, where's an A flat? And if you practice it enough, you'll eventually go like, okay, there's an A flat. So here's an E flat or A flat, B flat. Now hit a B flat. So here's your A flat. Okay. All right. Okay. Now play a B flat scale for me. Which note was off?
Top one and like the sixth or seventh one.
The seventh note is always flat, usually when people play a scale. Da 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 da. They're really close together. Play it again. Good. Okay. Now hit your B flat, low B flat. Hit your low B flat. I think you popped out for a minute. Now go down a fourth. Okay, hit your B flat. Go up an octave. No, da. Hit your B flat. What song's going up an octave?
Oh shoot. Somewhere over.
Okay, hit your B flat. Okay.
No, now I'm just singing somewhere over there.
Okay, here we go now. There's your B flat. Now tongue both of them. Da da.
I'm definitely in the higher octave right now.
Now hit your B flat, low B flat. Now, what song is going up a fifth and then going up to the octave?
I don't know. I feel like I just kind of know do,
Yeah.
so, do, do,
It's
so.
Thus Spake Zarathustra.
I don't think you've told me about this one.
That
Okay.
one.
Yeah.
So think of it that way. Go ahead and play it. Go. Good. Now do the next. Da 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 da. It actually goes up to a D to a D flat. Da 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 da, and then that's the minor third above that B flat.
Yeah.
So major third, minor third, da da. Okay. Let me get my tube out.
Okay.
So you'll have some real reference here.
I did.
Get Mr. Silver tube out. I finally put some, I've been laying it on this bell, so I finally bought some of that plastic piping stuff.
Oh, nice.
You can see the,
Yeah.
it's kind of.
You can kind of see it, but I can tell.
Put it on there. It's hard to cut it straight. Okay, ba 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 da. Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
My mind wants to go up to that like major, but I gotta hit the minor.
Okay, hit a C. C. Higher. The one above the B flat. Okay. Now go down a whole step. Nope, that's a fourth.
No, that's a fourth.
Yeah. There you go. Do that again. Now go from that note and go down a whole step. Now, so da. So go down whole steps. Da 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 da. Okay. That's a hard one because you're not used to doing it. And
especially because it's not the scale.
7 notes instead of 8 notes.
Yeah.
So you're going down whole steps, which is hard to do, but you can learn to hear a whole step that way. So give me a C. C, play it. Go ahead and sing it first.
Yeah.
C.
C.
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. Okay. All right. Now go back to your C. Now go down chromatically to a G.
Chromatically to a G.
Half steps.
Okay.
Good. Do it again. Now go up from the G. Go chromatically up to the C. I can't wait to hear you play the tuba.
Yeah.
It's gonna seem so easy to push those buttons down and just have those notes come out because you're gonna be so far ahead of the game. Yeah.
Yeah.
This should probably be a required like semester.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly,
Yeah, yeah, it really should be like a required. I'm going to like write a book. It's going to be called Clayton Tacker, the Clayton Tacker tuba method.
there
Anyway,
you go. Name it after me.
go ahead and do that again. Good. Da, 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 da. Do it again. Sing it right there. Da, 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 da. Your turn. Good. Play it. That's great. Really good. Mm-hmm. You couldn't do that last week.
No, I couldn't. You know, the first time.
Start on the C and go down. Da 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 da. You'll be going
How far am
down.
I going?
Starting from the C, from the G. Da 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 da. So G down to C.
Okay, okay.
Sing it first. Da.
G. Da, 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 da.
Good. Okay. And then go up an octave. Da 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 like that. Okay.
Yeah. So start on G, higher octave.
Yeah. So
C.
when you get down to the C, when you start C, you go down to G, then from G down to C, and then C up to C, and then start again.
Okay. So start from the C that we've been starting on to G, then G to C, then all the way back up to C.
And then do it again.
Okay. Cool.
And you'll end on the high C. After you do it the second time, go da da, and that'll be it.
Yeah. Okay.
Take it away. Okay, you went too far. You went below the D. You went down to the F.
If I'm gonna count it.
Like that.
Do you want me to go back up grammatically?
Yeah. And then go da da, and then da 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 da. So hit a low C, a high C, and then start it again at C.
Okay. Okay.
So you basically like this. Get the idea?
Yeah.
Take it away, Satchmo. Now,
I think I was bit off.
Clayton Tacker. I called you Clayton Tacker. I've been ready to call you Clayton Tacker. Anyway. Yeah. Hey, what's the weather like down there, man? Like 75?
It's hot. It's hot. It's so hot. I mean, it's windy.
After
so
living
nice.
up here, it's probably really hot. Is it humid in Texas?
Very. It's literally the most humid place in
like
the
Houston,
US.
Especially at Houston, because you got the Gulf. You got all that Gulf hot water coming in there.
Right next to Galveston.
You know, Virginia's like the Shenandoah Valley. You can cross the mountain. You can, you know, where you go up on 60. You know where 60 is?
Yeah.
You can take a right on 60 and go over to Amherst, and the humidity goes up about 15%. I mean, 15
really?
points. Yeah. So the Shenandoah Valley is very unhumid especially compared to where you live. You probably go home, probably hard to breathe.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the next. So Clayton, this is the next exercise out of that. So da 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 da. So the next exercise is da 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 da. Da 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 da. When you can do that, you got something rolling there. So start singing it. Start with. Good, man. That's really good. Yeah, good. I don't think you could do that last week either.
No.
Yeah. Now play it. Really pinpoint, really hear what you saying in the mouthpiece.
Yeah.
Cool. Good, man.
There's some.
Yeah. And the next thing you want to do is I want you to go da da minor second. Da da whole step. Da da minor third.
Gonna hear it.
Da da major third. Da da perfect fourth. Da da tritone. You call them tritones?
Either one. Yeah, it's try it on.
Da da perfect fifth. Da da minor sixth. Da da
Major sixth.
Yeah, got that. I want you to sing it and say it. So da da half step. Da da major second. Da da minor third, like that. Okay, go ahead and sing it. Do it. This is the way you learn that downward interval.
Yeah. Okay.
Take it away.
Minor second slash half step. Da da half step. Da da whole step. Da da minor third. Da da major third. Da da perfect fourth. Da da tritone. Da da perfect fifth. Da da minor sixth. Da da major sixth. Da da minor seventh. Da da major seventh. Da da.
Man, that's great. That's really good. That's like a whole different world when you can start doing that. You're dealing with the now start on the low one. Da 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 da, and give me the play it. Start with sing it. Start with.
Okay. Da 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 minor second. Da da major second.
Be a little more clear on that. Da da major second.
Da da minor second. Da da.
There you go.
Major second. Da da minor third. Da da major third. Da da.
No.
Da da.
Da da.
Da da. Perfect fourth.
Da da.
Da da.
There you go. Start it again.
Okay. Da da minor second. Da da major second.
Okay. Let me give you the first note again.
Okay.
You lost your center of bottom pitch.
Yeah.
You lost the center of relativity right there. Sounds like a science project. Da 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 da. Take it away.
Da da. No. Da da. Minor second. Da da. Major second. Da da. Minor third. Da da. Major third. Da da. Perfect fourth. Da da. Tritone. Da da. Perfect fifth. Da da. Major sixth. Minor sixth. Da da. Major sixth. Da da. Minor seventh. Da da. Major seventh. Da da.
Good, man. Yeah, and like if you took da da, that'd be a E flat, right? Just sing the first part of a guy, air guy, air gay. I'll call the guy who wrote this thing and ask him how you say it. Da da da. That'd be your E flat, right?
Yeah.
On da 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 da.
Da 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 da.
Yep. Da 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 da.
Da 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 da.
Da 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 da. Go ahead.
Da 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 da.
Not quite. Da 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 da. There's a little bit of slack in those intervals. They're not quite accurate. Do it again. Do it a little slower.
Da 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 da. Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, now do it quicker. That was good.
Okay. Da 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 da.
Good. Keep going.
I gotta look at the music because I remember it, but I lose like different versions of that same tune part.
I tell you what I started doing this week, man. Check this out. Because I am not a piano. I mean, I can play some keyboard stuff.
Yeah.
But I started writing the chords above it. It's really, this piano part's really hard to read because it's like the treble clef is written down in the bass clef part. Like, you know, it's got a bunch of ledger lines on it. I went, who wrote that thing, man? Because it's, I mean, it's going like, I can't even tell you, you know, and I play guitar a lot. So I'm used to looking at kind of like down to E, treble clef below the staff, like clarinet, it goes down to low E below the staff. So I'm used to looking at it going, that's so ridiculous they wrote it that way. But I guess, you know, I guess they had to. Because I would have been better to write it in 2 bass clefs. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now, da. Man, look it off. Da 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 da. That 5 6 7 1.
Right.
Well, it's not 5 6 7 1, but it sounds like it.
Yeah. Da 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 da. Da 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 da.
Now hit the A flat. Go up a 6. Good. Down a whole step. Da da da. Good. Keep going. Start on the A flat. Keep going.
Da 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 da.
Okay, now check the rhythm. All right, hey, check it out. Da 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 da. Okay. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Okay, got it. Start on the A flat.
Da 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 da.
1 and 2 and 1.
Da 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 da.
Now we go to the next part. I'll give you 1 and 2 and 1 and come da ya.
Okay.
1 and 2 and 1.
Da ya da 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 da.
Now check the interval from the E flat to the C. Da ya da 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 da. You kind of get, yeah, that's a minor third. Da ya da 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 da. Sing it.
Da ya da 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 ya da 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 da.
The D flat didn't quite speak. It was a little sharp. Da ya da 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 da. Da 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 da. Sing E flat, C, D flat.
Da da da
Da da da.
da da da.
Okay, da ya da 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 da. Kind of emphasize. I don't care if you make them a little too long. Just make sure the pitch is dead in. Okay.
Okay. Da da
da
ya da 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 da. It's so low sharp.
Da ya da 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 da. You missed a minor third down from E flat to it.
Okay. Da ya da 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 da.
Good.
That's better.
Then you go down to the C. Da ya.
Da da ya da 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 da.
Good. The only thing you missed was the third note of that passage. The B natural was a little flat.
Okay.
As you went along, it got better. Da ya da da da. You went da ya da da da, like kind of like that.
Yeah.
Sounded like you're in between a B flat and a B.
Yeah. I was trying to. I was slowing down.
Man, like, I'm excited. Boy, I hope this works. Don't give up during the summer, man. When summer lets out, just keep on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just sightseeing everything in your house.
Yeah.
And if there's not anything in your house, look up something sightseeing. Anytime you have a B, sing it louder.
Okay. Da ya da 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 da.
Not quite.
Da ya da. Da ya da.
There you go.
Da ya da 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 da.
Excellent.
I did the A.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Good, man. Da ya da 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 da. And then So, and then you got those D naturals. Da, ya, da, 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 da. And then you get that E flat. Sing that little lick for me.
Da, ya, da, 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 da.
Keep going.
Da, 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 ya, da.
Now, da, 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 ya, da. So you got to get back to that C from the B flat. Da, 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 ya, da. Got the idea?
Da, ya, da, da, ya, da. Da, 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 da. Okay. I think I understand that.
Start on the B flats. B flat, da, 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 da. So the last measure of, I don't know, that's not the last measure of the page. I'm looking at the piano part.
Yeah, I know here though. Da 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 yeah da 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 yeah da yeah da yeah da yeah da 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 da
da ya da 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 da. So sing da ya da 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 da. Go ahead.
Da yeah. Hold on.
No, man. Well, you're not. You're yawning a lot. You know that. You know, yawning's a compliment, right? You know what that
Is
means?
it? What?
Why is yawning a compliment?
I think you told me last time. I don't remember.
Because you're at full breath. Last week you were just sleepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was a breathing yawn. That was a breathing yawn. That means you're breathing thickly. Da ya da 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 da. So start it. Da ya da 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 da. E flat, C. Go ahead.
Da ya da 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 ya da ya da ya da ya da 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 da.
Okay.
Flat.
Da 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 da. So that would be. That's like a minor scale up. Da 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 da.
Da 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 da. Well,
let me play that.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a little bit out of pitch here.
Wow.
Okay, go ahead and skip over to the C, D, E, F sharp, E.
Okay. Like 2 measures later? Or 3 measures later?
C, D, E.
Da 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 da.
No, C, D, E natural.
Da 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 da.
So C, D, E natural. F sharp is a whole step back to the whole step down. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Oh no, it's da 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 da. That's a whole step up. It's not a. If you went up the scale, it'd be da 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 da. It's da 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 da. Hear the difference?
Yeah.
So start on that C and sing it slowly. Say the names of the notes.
C, D, E, F sharp. C, D, E, F sharp. Yeah, okay.
C, D, E, F sharp.
C, D, E, F sharp, E, F sharp, T.
Da, 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 da. Just singing on da.
Da, 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 da.
Da, 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 da,
Da, da, da, da, da. Can you give me the starting note again?
Yeah, Da 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 da.
Da 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 da.
What key is that kind of in?
What is what?
What key is that in, kind of?
That's sure. I'd say the key of G.
It's kind of in the key of E, starting with when you get to the E.
Yeah.
Da da E da 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 da. And then, so when you go down to 41, you got measure 41 written down?
No, but I can count it.
Yeah,
I see it.
Yeah. So the first 2 notes of that you're kind of in C. Like the first 3 notes are in C. But when you get to that E, you're leaving C and going to the key of E.
Yeah.
It's like the first 5 notes of an E scale, right?
Yeah.
And then when you get to measure 41 and you get to that G, A, B flat, then you go back into the original key.
Yeah.
So for a little bit, and you can look at the piano chords are C, D. I'm looking at the piano chords, like the first measure C, the second measure's a, what is that? D, F sharp A with yeah, it's like, yeah, D, F sharp A with a G in the bass. Anyway, so I'm just looking at the chord structure of the thing, but da 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 da, and right there it changes keys.
Yeah.
So start on that C again. Da 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 da. Let me give you a C, a tuba C. Da 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 da.
Da 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 da. Da 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 da.
Okay, so start right there. Da, da, da. On the B flat, slur.
Okay.
48. Okay, that's kind of in a kind of a G minor looking little thing there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a G minor scale. G da 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 da. Da, 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 da. Yeah, it's really like a G minor scale.
Yeah.
G da 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 G A B flat da 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 da. Okay, so start on a da 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 48 D natural E flat D C.
Say that again?
Measure 48. Da, 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 da. Right there.
Da 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 da. Da 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 da
Da, 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 da. That much?
da 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 da.
Da, da, da.
Da da da
Da, da, da.
da da da.
Yeah. Da, 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 da. Okay. You need to get that leg down there. Now go over to the next part, which is measure 61. So now you're getting kind of an E flat minor scale.
Over at the part. Da 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 da.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
So it's not an E flat major scale now. It's, you know, or an A flat major scale. It's an E flat minor scale. Let me give you an E flat.
Yeah.
Da
Da da da da da.
da 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 da. Half step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step. Da 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 da. Sing that.
Da 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 ya da 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 da.
Keep going.
Da 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 da
Okay,
da.
now when you get so you got da da ya da 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 da. That's got to go down to that G flat.
Dum 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 dum. I'm having a hard time hearing those
Yeah,
notes.
okay. All right. So that's one. So if you want to mark one, that's a good thing to work on right there. That whole starting about 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. Starting to measure 60. That whole when it goes into the kind of the minor thing, the E flat minor. You might want to think. Have you got a keyboard?
I have one on my iPad.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, and that way you can check your pitches on that. But I would check my pitches. Yeah, from right there. You know, when you get to near the end, 90, it's really like the beginning. So from that section till about 90, from 60 to 90. Because you're flipping keys. You're for a while there. You're in the key of G, which is going to be really easy.
Yeah.
When you get see where 74 is, where you got G, A, B natural, C, D, 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 E, C, D.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Like that's basically a G scale. Okay. So you want to check that out. Anyway, all right. So when do you get out of school? 29th, 30th, something like that?
No.
Later?
Our finals start, I think, the first week of May.
Okay. So you basically got 2 more lessons.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. So if it works for you, we can do this time next week. Or is this too late in the afternoon? Is this about right?
No, this is good. Listen, I got nothing to do.
Yeah. I've got another student, Mary Baldwin ends up, they're actually her last lesson supposed to be today, but I don't just see if she wants another one because she was kind of a high school saxophone player, and she's actually learned the names of her notes this year. She went to a really small high school. I know where she went to school. She went to high school about 30 minutes from where I went to high school.
Yeah.
It's amazing she can even talk, anyway. Take more. But yeah, so yeah, we'll have a couple more. So work on that 60 to 90. And, use your little keyboard or pitch machine you got rolling on there on your iPad. Sure. Are you using the school iPad?
Yeah, well, it's kind of mine, kind of the school's. It feels a lot like mine, but technically, if I left the school, it would be theirs. But if I graduate, I get it.
Oh, so is that how it works?
But no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get. You got to? Can you write on yours with a pencil? With a pencil?
Yeah, they give us a pencil and a keyboard.
Yeah, man. I want one. I think I should get one.
They're cool. I like them.
So. Oh yeah. I just want to be able to write because I like to write notes. Some of the videos I've made for Mary Baldwin have been like my counting method, which I've told you about, the 1.0 thing. I did a whole video about it. And I'm telling you, it's stunning. They all got it right. If I did it any other way, they would have got it wrong. It was just like stunning to do it. And when I get the graph on it, it's going to be great. It's going to be like the greatest thing. So anyway, all right. So yeah, work on 60 to 90 this week. When you're walking around the house or swimming or whatever, work on your jaw exercises. Think those intervals down. Practice singing those intervals. Da 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 da, and know what the intervals are. Know the names of them. And man, you're gonna freak them out. You're gonna freak them out so bad. I'm gonna go like, okay, he deserves the new tuba. Come on.
Yeah.
At least a good used tuba. All right, Clayton, I will see you next week. You have a good one. And are you swimming today? Do you go swimming every day?
Probably later too.
Yeah,
just good. About.
Yeah. All right. I'll see you then, man. You have a good one. Good to see you. And I hope you had a good spring break last week.
Yeah, thanks.